Okay, we are calling this meeting to order at 7 o'clock, and where is everybody? Okay. Where is everyone?
There is nobody.
There is no one.
People don't care.
No, we're still sleeping
It's
from
a
yesterday.
Zoom meeting and no one is there.
Okay.
Hold on, let's.
Well, no, wait a minute, did we?
I was at my hospital yesterday, like, Monday.
The eyes are on. I think
It's looking at me.
I believe it's on.
Done. Change the clock.
In the living room.
Oh, the living room?
Get the ladder.
You know what? In about 4.5 months or 5 months, we'll be right back to normal. We'll have to change it again.
We're waiting for the pledge, we're waiting to see if there's anything online.
Yes, there's a
Stay by.
camera on there. It's not locked. Nope, it's not locked.
Share
Is it
screen?
turned off? No, no.
I think you're right, people are tired from Instagram.
Is this is
on,
on and
because the
No, it's
connected.
on. It's looking at
The
me.
eyes are on. Okay, hold on.
There's nobody's, no.
No.
Decided that nobody cares anymore. That's what we can do.
It's 7 o'clock. Tone's going on.
Let's see.
Participants, it says nobody.
Pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. This evening, we have Michael Mordecai here, who's working towards your Eagle Scout?
Yes.
I got it right. Okay, he's here to make a presentation with regard to a project at Carrington Cemetery.
Yes.
And Michael, the floor is yours to tell us what it's all about.
Is there a specific place I should stand?
You can stand up at the end of the table, that's fine.
Hello, I'm Michael Mordecai, and my Eagle Scout project is creating a garden in the Carrington Road Cemetery. So basically, there are these trees that are planted in front of some people's graves that aren't technically supposed to be there. They're against the code. It's making it hard for the said to me that if I can move them, so we can create like a little garden for people to reflect in and able to see the cemetery in, I think it's the southwest corner, southeast corner.
Yeah.
And I also was planning on replacing some of the flag holders at the veterans' graves in the cemetery using our troops. We have like a rotator system that previous Eagle Scout did for his project. So I have the number of a person who runs a local military museum in Middletown, and they help and donate stuff like this for projects like this. So I'm planning to reach out to them once I get the all clear to do the project. And yeah, hoping.
Now,
just-
what do you anticipate, like the cost of this? Are you doing like multiple benches, one bench, or how are you?
I was thinking, I was told there's a bench there. It's
Okay.
kind of left in the middle of the cemetery, brought by a family. So we were hoping to move that into the garden.
Okay.
So,
And the commission was all on board in this, and that's why they sent it
Yes.
forward to us so that we could sort of do our approval for it as well.
yes,
And who's gonna be helping you?
my troop and my parents.
Okay.
I'm thinking for my majority of the funding is gonna come from my family.
Okay.
So,
When do you think they'll be done?
it depends. The paperwork takes, for it to get like approved by council, takes 2 weeks. And then hoping maybe I take a couple weekends, 4 or so, at most 6 weekends to try to get it all done.
Are you gonna start to do it now with the weather getting colder, or are you gonna wait till the spring to do it?
Probably wait till the spring to do
Okay,
it.
okay, cool, excellent.
And you already went to cemetery commission, right? You talked to
Yes,
them. They're
I
good.
talked
They're
to
on
them.
board with moving the
Yep.
bench and
Yes.
whatever.
Because those things, they're not regulation, they shouldn't be there. There's.
Yeah, but if it was if some family put it there,
Well, I'll read.
if a family put it there, you might want to reach out to them and.
Well,
see,
let me
just them
tell you
know.
what let me tell you what Chris sent me just before the meeting tonight. It says a creation of a memorial garden along the boundary of the southeast side of the cemetery in an area between sections D and B of the cemetery, in which there are no graves. The commission believes that back in the 1940s, this was considered as a possible road connection to an adjoining property if the cemetery was ever expanded. There is a residence on the adjoining property, so clearly the cemetery will never be expanded in that direction. And
Somebody's there.
yes, and I'm trying to figure out how to let them in.
That's okay.
I just don't know where they are. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh,
Cool.
it's cool, okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to see where I left off here. Please note that the area on the rear of the cemetery on the western side is where excess dirt from graves is stockpiled. From the commission's perspective, the memorial garden will be a place where larger shrubs could be planted to commemorate someone. There have been several plantings done in section D of the cemetery which are not in line with the established cemetery regulations, i.e. they are in the way of mowing done at the cemetery. The commission will notify the families that planted the subject shrubs, which would then be relocated to the memorial garden area. There is also a stone bench that is at the cemetery, which, to the best of the commission's knowledge, is not associated with a particular grave, which would be relocated to the memorial garden and provide a place for someone to sit in the garden and reflect. The replacement of the flag holders for the veterans buried at the cemetery. Existing flag holders have been broken and deteriorated with age. They are made from PCB pipe, perfect for sliding the memorial flags into. The existing flag holders were done as part of the Eagle Project done almost 20 years ago. So in the interim, there have been burials of veterans that need to be identified with a flag holder. Note, flags are graciously donated for all the town cemeteries by the Lions Club and set out before each Memorial Day by the Cub Scouts. So the cemetery welcomes the foregoing improvements proposed by Eagle Scout candidate Mordecai to the Carrington Cemetery, which the commission believes will be a positive addition to the cemetery. Are you trying to get in? I'll text it to you. Okay, so any other questions of Mr. Mordecai?
Who else do you have to contact? I mean, planning and zoning is not a big deal. The building department's not a big deal. You might want to contact Public Works, talk to Tony, let them know where you plan on putting it, what you plan on doing. They might even help you move the stone bench and whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The director of Public Works is actually a pretty good guy, so he might be able to help you out.
Point of the project is kind of help move these shrubs, so the Public Works Department can help better maintain the cemetery.
Yes,
mowing.
no, it's perfect. Just let them know, what your plan is and.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Thank you. Any other?
Do we need,
questions?
like, do we need like a sketch or anything? I don't know. I know typically the guys
Chris
bring a
sent me-
sketch or.
This is what, this little area, this
Oh.
orange area here
Okay,
is the area, the southeast corner of the cemetery.
good, thank you.
And Miss Sullivan kind of has this vision for like what she wants this garden to look like. If there were plans, I think in the past, they wanted something like this done, but they at least just wanted the shrubs moved. So she kind of has an overall vision for this, so I think I need to hear from her what she really wants to see and how it to look.
So how you can help her
Yes.
make that vision happen. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve Mr. Mordecai's
Make a
project?
motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second.
something tells me it's gonna be all in favor. Aye. Congratulations and good luck with the project. If you need any other help or to us and,
I'll give you my card before you leave. You can call me. We'll go over them.
okay.
What you need for, for help for moving and stuff. Right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, next item is public comment. Jamie, if you want to sign in, please, down at the end of the table.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to start by congratulating Paula and the entire team for the recent elections. And also to Gina and Gina and Paul for your wins. And also congratulate Don and Liz for your successful service and getting off the board. Wanted to just bring your attention to, it's my understanding that Jamie Sterling, 20 Miller Road. Forgot. It's my understanding that the solid waste contract is coming up for bid, and that bid specifications are either soon to be prepared or being prepared, and it's going out to bid. During the walks around town for this most current election that ended yesterday, there was significant interest among some townspeople in looking at that contract and seeing if we could do something effectively with our kitchen waste that could be composted. I know the town had an opportunity to participate in a pilot program, and there were some concerns about that pilot program in terms of animals and intrusions and other things. I'd like to encourage the Board of Selectmen and the Director of Public Works and our finance manager to relook at the options for that, because I do think that there's, at least in some segment of the population, interest in finding ways to reduce the cost of that, especially given that most of our waste is either now or soon to be trucked out of state. Landfills are closing, and if we can look at trying to find a way to turn that into usable fertilizer, that would be fabulous for the town, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have public comment. I do, believe it or not. Liz, it's been a short little
What's
term
fun,
with
though?
you. Well, as I told, I did this up at the Board of Education earlier, and I told them, I made these myself, so don't criticize the graphics. You know, it wasn't some form that I bought up at Staples. It was made from the heart to thank you for your service. So it's just a little certificate of appreciation for your time, and I know it was only 2 years. It probably felt like a million. I know.
It's actually 2.5 years.
But that's right, because it did get extended. But thank you for being part of the board for that time, and
Thank you.
appreciate working with you.
Appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Don, you've been here forever. I'm also
Sure, almost
board,
forever.
but I enjoyed working with you as a board member of Selectmen, because you have been a wealth of knowledge and helped me through many circumstances that were, don't.
Oh, no, I love it. I like the
Oh,
colors.
good, okay. You can lie to me if you want, it's okay. But thank you for your service, and I know you're still gonna be around in your other capacity, so, but I wanted to at least show my appreciation for your time on the board.
Thank you.
And it really, you have been
Thank you. I
a wealth of
appreciate it.
knowledge to help me. So,
How many years did you guys down?
14 and a half.
But who's counting?
Plus 4 and planning and zoning, so 18 and a half.
But he knew that right off the top of his head, he didn't even have to.
I
think
count
about
every
it.
day, Sam.
Well, this is the last meeting for, oh, no, yes, it's the, would be, unless we have to call something special for any reason, this
So,
would be the
Yes,
last.
so this is the last meeting, and
The last official meeting, unless we have a special meeting.
but
You-
December
You're
1st,
still
we're
here
done.
till December
right?
first.
December 1st,
December 1st
right.
would be your last day.
So Gina,
December 2nd would be the swearing in, it's a Saturday. There we go. Okay. Having a mind of its own tonight, it's okay. I hope it recorded certificates, but it is what it is. So yes, do I have a motion to?
So moved for the October 3rd minutes.
Second? And do we have any comments, questions?
just one question, and I
Sure.
know this is,
What page?
when we, no, just when we note that someone's talking, just like Jamie did and Catherine did last time, we never put down what the topic is, though. It's just that they spoke.
Right, and we have the recordings, so if anybody, wants to, they can take a look at the recording. So it's just noting public, who spoke for the public.
All right, I'm good.
I'm fine, I looked at it before.
Okay, perfect. All in favor of approving the October 3rd regular meeting minutes, say aye.
Hi.
Aye. It's unanimous, okay. I do have tax refunds from. Refunds from. A bunch of- This is the list. It totals 1,000. Thank you. If you give them a copy. Totals $1,883.21. May I have a motion to approve the tax refunds? For
Make a motion to approve the tax refunds.
I'll second that.
second, okay, all in favor?
Right.
Aye, perfect. We have cemetery, 2 cemetery deeds to approve. To approve, a Margaret Heaton, grave number 4 in lot 40 of section 5, section C. And then I'm going to not pronounce this correctly.
At
I
Carrington?
apologize. These are both at Carrington,
Okay.
and they're quitclaim covenants. And they meet, I'm gonna not pronounce this, and I apologize, Mayint and Joan Hasby. And they're grave number 5 in lot 40 of section C. So they're 2 graves right next to each other. So can I
I'll
approve
move
the
accepting
deeds?
the deeds.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, those have been approved. The next is the 24-25 Board of Selectmen schedule. It's item 5. And it repeats the January meeting, and it goes to January of 2025. We always have to have 13 months listed. This list, if approved tonight, will then go to Will for recording.
Okay.
So, and it's basically the same first Tuesday of the month at 7 o'clock, I think.
What would think the next board would want to approve this rather than us?
It has to be put in by December
Right,
1st.
it has to
so
be
it has to
posted.
We have to,
It has to be,
yeah,
okay.
Typically, it would have been when May elections, but this is a.
Right, right.
yeah, so that's why it's recorded or
Okay.
approved now for the upcoming year. So,
I'll move the accept the schedule as written.
okay.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, perfect. Next item is an amendment to the personnel manual, which is just some wording, because we're trying to make it a little easier when some full-time employees become employed. It just is a little smoother with transition, having them start, and it also adds Juneteenth in there. And just some corrections with some grammatical.
What is, what is the rule that I don't recall ever seeing the personnel manual? So putting an amendment in,
Well, this is just for this section of holiday leave. It doesn't impact
I'm
anything
just
else.
saying
of
that,
the-
just
Well,
saying that.
the actual manual itself was approved back in, before I took office, so it needs some revamping to actually bring it up to the state law, new state laws and stuff like that. So this is just right now to
It's a holiday
adjust the
schedule.
holiday,
And to add
That's it.
yeah, and add
Yeah.
Juneteenth to it. But then the whole thing is gonna have to be sort of revamped to bring it up to sort of code with state rules and regulations, so.
Okay,
But that was just this piece that needed some adjustment. Now,
it's either the day before or after, depending on where it falls.
Depending when it falls.
Yeah.
If it's a Tuesday, it's the day before, or whatever.
Just 2 days, huh? That's it.
We can vote for more.
we just added Juneteenth, so.
Tina's gonna do that.
So can I have a motion to approve this adjustment or amendment to the,
Motion to
Manual.
approve.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, fantastic, thank you. Next item is the request for waiver of building fees for the Bethany Historical Society. That item was included in your packet as item number 7. Can I have a motion, or so we can start discussion?
I'll just make a motion.
Liz?
Second.
Okay. You have the actual email right there in front of you, so, any comments or questions, or, I mean, they explained it pretty
We normally do this though, too.
It's the Historical Society, and I think their roof is almost finished.
The roof is
actually.
done,
Yeah.
roof
I
is
was gonna
done.
say,
So as long as they pay the state fee, because
Right.
we have to pay that anyway.
Right, yeah.
Even like people working at town hall have to pay the state fee.
Right, so they will pay that fee, but they're just asking that we waive any of the other,
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Sure.
okay? So that was a
Yeah,
motion.
we paid for the work anyway, we might as well waive the fee.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Aye, fantastic, thank you. Okay, next is item number 8. The gentleman is not here, isn't really required to be here, but he is on the Economic Development Committee in Orange. So he
Oh.
knows Tom, he's familiar with economic development, so Tom had said to him, if you're interested, let Paula know. And so I confirmed with Tom, and he said, yes, please bring him forward for approval with the board. So this will complete the regular commission members. And then Jamie, you're still an alternate, right? And Sharon, you're still an alternate, right?
What's his?
Yes and no, because if Joe Capasso's term expired, then I think all those terms of those of us who were originally appointed have expired.
No, because Will did them, he alternated them so that not everybody expired at the same
Oh, they
time.
staggered.
He staggered them so
So-
that not everybody went off at the same time, so there was some continuity with the people on the board, on the commission, sorry.
Okay, well, first, I'll make a motion to discuss.
Okay, sorry, with second, okay,
To
Okay.
discuss.
all right, so we've got a motion and we've got a second.
Now, a question on this, Mr. Latella.
Yep.
Does he live in Bethany, or does he live in
Yes,
Orange?
no, he lives in Bethany.
Oh, when you said he was a
What's
member
Well,
of the Orange.
but he's involved, he
Oh,
originally
no, that's-
came
no, that's
from
fine,
Orange,
that's
so
fine.
he
Orange
was involved
Economic
there,
Development.
and has since moved to Bethany.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But-
That's
so
all
he's-
really-
What's
that's
his
really
business? And
I don't know his
Yeah.
actual, what he does.
there is
for
a
living,
tele refuse collection. is that the-
but it could be
Yeah,
family,
I
I
don't know.
did not inquire. as
What's
to-
the name?
Which Latella is it, Paul?
I'm sorry.
Michael,
Michael Latella.
Orange.
Oh, yeah.
Michael works for, I think it's All American Trash Company,
Yes,
So it is.
So
waste
Yes.
waste removal. And he's employed by that company. That's what he does for a living.
thank you.
well, like
Thank you
any,
for
like any
clarifying.
other board, a volunteer is a wonderful thing, so. I
Absolutely.
got no problem accepting somebody who wants to volunteer to help.
Yeah, so I will confirm tomorrow with Will what the expiration or termination dates would be for each
So
person.
what is this person's term going to be?
I have to see who he would be filling in because I don't know where Will put,
Oh,
Well, is he
Right.
replacing someone?
well, because Joe stepped down, Janet stepped
Joe's term
down.
expired.
Well, Joe expired, and Todd, that's right, thank you, Steve.
Oh, Todd stepped off the board? too?
Todd stepped off, so there were
So it
three.
depends who he takes over for it. It could be
We'll
1 year,
fill in
2
the
years,
term, it
6,
could be, yeah.
whatever, yeah.
So I will confirm, and then we will print up what what the status is of all the members, okay? But I know Will had staggered them so that it wouldn't have everybody coming off at the same time. We wanted to have some kind of continuity with the members on the commission, so.
That's good. I know for a fact, previously, the town clerk did not keep track of economic development commission members whatsoever.
Yeah, no,
No,
Will
it's
is
all-
very,
it's an-
Will
this
is
an
very good.
official-
That's
Will is
That's
very good about that.
That's a
He
good
is,
thing.
yeah, no, he's got his spreadsheet. He knows where everybody's supposed to be, so.
Well, good.
Any other discussion to approve Mr. Latella? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will let Will know that tomorrow because he will have to be sworn in by Will. So
Mhm.
I will get back to Mr. Latella on that as well. So next item is reservation permits and fees. We've had some discussion because we now have Center Station as an additional small venue for people to gather for events. So we were just trying to look at our fees and reservation fees and usage fees and so we came up with this chart, and if we so choose to approve the recommended amounts that are here, then we can move forward with any new reservations.
Mhm.
Are we gonna discuss this a little bit?
Yes, well, do we want to make a motion to approve, and then we can discuss?
Yeah, make a motion to. approve
I'll
this
second.
stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I find that the format of this is difficult for me. I like to see things, was, is, or this, and the recommended, like side by side.
Well, it is, it says current,
I know,
Well, she
then
means
red-
side by side, not above.
not up and
below.
down?
yeah,
Okay.
side by side, like 2 columns,
Yeah.
it's just more logical for me. But this would be your call going forward for formatting it. Because a lot of things come up like this, where you're
Well, most of
comparing
this
what is
information,
and what.
if recommended, will go on the actual forms.
Right.
We're gonna make separate
Yeah,
forms
I
for
get
each.
it, I get it,
each
but to
venue.
evaluate, just my brain works that way. So other people might not need that. There was, I looked at this, yeah, okay, so. Like the setup stuff, which says event length, 3 hours for event and 1 hour setup and cleanup. Why don't just say 4 hours total, including setup and
Do
cleanup,
that.
something like that,
could do
just
that.
to be very clear about
Mhm.
the hours, because someone could.
Includes
oh,
what,
Well,
includes 1
setup
hour
and
of
setup and
setup.
cleanup, isn't that the custodians?
Well, it depends on
Or is
how they
that-
want it set up, unless they're working with someone, I mean,
Yeah, and for all of these, I don't know if they're, quite different from one place to the next. So Center Station
well,
has
they
the
would,
kitchen, and if you're having a birthday party or a senior luncheon, or it would depend, right? But if you just,
well, the kitchen at at Center Station, sorry, is basically like a little galley
little,
kitchen.
yes,
It's a little,
It's not
yeah,
a-
I've
it's
been
not
there.
a,
she was-
you
yeah,
know,
I
I've
took
been
her
there,
down
yeah.
there,
I've been- yeah,
So,
still could be used though for some.
oh, okay, yeah, they were heating up food, or maybe the, refrigerator to keep things cold.
I don't have any problem with the fees, just the timing to be clearer in, how long you have it for. So,
well, if 3 hours and then 1 hour, so basically it's a 5 hour rental.
no, it's 4 hours, right?
Well, no, 3 hours and 1 hour setup and cleanup, or 1 hour altogether, setup and cleanup.
Oh, we
That's
have
what I'm
to-
saying, it's
Okay,
not
so
clear.
4
just
hours
say
is fine.
4.
But if we put down 4 hour, people are gonna wanna come in, just like at the lodge and just like at the pavilion, they wanna come in the day before. They
If
wanna
it's
come
not
in the
booked for
morning, they
anything
wanna
else,
come in, You know what I mean? So
I don't
just to
know.
spell it out a little clearer that,
Yeah, to me, spell it out, saying you have 4 hours total.
includes
Set up and clean up.
that's fine.
Okay.
So if you're doing it, you can say,
Okay, and we'll put in parentheses, includes
Include setup and cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay.
setup and cleanup.
And as far as the fee structure, 200 and 100, 100 is very nice, 200. Once word gets around, it's gonna be rented all the time, just $100 or $200 to rent the venues. Very inexpensive.
Yeah, and it's, yes, sir.
In terms of determining what's going to be revenue and what's going to be expense, I think that you have to actually limit the event time, like how long a reception or whatever would be, because sometimes setup and cleanup do become the responsibility of the town, and sometimes they don't. And so I think you have to specify them, because most of the time, I think.
Specific
right
to
now,
a particular venue or for all of the venues?
for Any,
Pretty much, yeah,
anything
pretty
that
much
they're
all
gonna
the
ask,
venues.
I mean, because I know,
ask us to do and leave it a mess. Most of the time, we have to do some cleanup afterwards, no matter what.
Right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Isn't
So
there a
that shouldn't be
manual
included
about,
in the
say,
event.
Well, the-
veterans, what you can do there? And used to be someone slept there, so I don't know who cleans it up now.
no, I
really,
know,
seriously.
I know. That we were discussing that and they were gonna put like almost like a checklist together, like, you can't put stuff on the wall, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Uh-huh.
And then if they do, that's where the whole deposit comes in. Security
Somebody has to
deposit.
unlock it for them, right, to get in and set up and do all that stuff
Yes.
at the lodge,
yeah, they usually contact Chris, right? Chris will sort of works
Right,
with the person
Tom will
renting.
do this, do reservations, and then Chris will do the actual setup, breakdown, cleanup.
be a real big deal, depending.
What the event is in there.
Yeah, 'cause we had a big birthday party for Brian.
Well, that's where security deposit comes in. If they wreck the joint,
Snowstorm, but
then
no.
we
Oh,
don't-
It's,
they don't get the security.
but it's
deposit
not,
back.
it's
It's a
a
non-refundable
non-refundable
security
reservation fee.
there is no security
Security
deposit
but
anymore.
Well,
changing
at
it
the
to-
airport there is, the security, no, that's, I'm sorry, that's the old one, I'm sorry, I'm
No,
looking at,
That's the old one.
I'm looking at the wrong line. Old, okay. So we factored in, I guess, we factored in the janitorial staff.
From a state,
Isn't it 4 hours if a custodian has to even open up at the lodge?
He's
They have to
typically
be
on,
paid
he's
for 4
typically a
hours.
yes. Yes.
So that should that be in addition to the fee? For the
Like
use of the
custodial,
lodge?
custodial charge?
Well, you have to just pay that person whether they're there or not,
Right,
because that's
They're covered.
the way you do it.
That's covered.
we're certainly not making money.
the non-refundable reservation fee will cover half of that cost. So then you're right, the question becomes, we want to cover all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that you figured out the return on investment and you want to break even. You're gonna rent it out, you don't want it to be a loser all the time.
So
Or do
So-
we add a separate, an additional charge, a custodial?
Or break them down. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the experience in this, to know what the track record is of all the different things that have been there. And,
So are you,
but
I
you
mean,
probably.
do we
want-
think of like adding a $50 custodial fee to the venues?
Well, we did, like, say for instance, Center Station, it's $50 non-refundable fee just to reserve the building.
Right.
Then it's an additional $100 to rent it. So
Right.
it's $150 for 4 hours, we'll call it. Okay? So if the custodian has to come for an hour to clean up, an hour to set up and an hour to clean up, there's your $50.
Mhm.
The $100 fee will pay for the lights, the propane, the whatever. We're definitely not making money, but we're not looking to make money. We're looking to at least break even. We don't want to spend money. You
But
know,
if you're paying the custodian from the time they open it to the time they close it, then how it's that, all that time and cost plus the length of the event. I'm just suggesting that part of the intent of this is to figure out what these things are costing us.
right.
And that we
Right.
actually need to know what the different things are. Even if we don't charge for them, we need to be tracking them. Just
Agreed.
saying you can have a 4-hour event and not saying what it includes.
So you figure the custodian fees, $100. Custodian cost, give or take $100.
Mhm.
Right, 4 hours at $18 an hour, $19 an hour plus whatever. Plus, you know, so 7% for this and.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, somebody open up and close and stuff like that too, security wise, for all these, whenever there's an event, how does that work?
It depends on which venue it is.
So that's true, Joe, yeah.
Mhm.
Because with
Center-
Center Station, you just leave.
Well, Center Station, we give you a code for the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, boom, door opens, you leave, the door closes. Tomorrow it doesn't work anymore.
Okay, but
The airport, no. The lodge, yes. The lodge, someone has to open the door,
And then close it
turn off the
after.
alarm, and then at 8 o'clock at night after the whatever, come back. Shut the door, turn the code back on. That's
it
your
almost
4 hour.
would seem that place that someone should be there in the vicinity. Something goes wrong, something comes up.
Yeah,
It's a
but
more
if-
significant
If it's a
venue.
6-hour wedding, whatever, it's tough to justify paying someone to sit in the back room and watch TV for 6
Well,
hours.
maybe they could about optionally have someone on site.
Well, that's what I mean. It's hard to just, you know,
I mean, they pay for it. Just saying, to have somebody there to check
well,
out fuse and
what
goes
is a
or
pavilion?
help them with the oven or
The lodge
something
is
about.
$500 now to rent, right? So the lodge pretty much covers everything anyway. What, 475, 575 for the lodge?
But I mean, it could be a little, you know, if you know how everything works and get paid a little extra, hang out there. You know, for 5 hours.
Well, typically what we do now, what is done now is the gentleman is on call.
They have his phone number.
So he gets
so
paid
something-
his 3-4 hours of show up time. And if the phone doesn't ring, he gets his 4 hours pay. If the phone rings, he goes and he plunges the toilet or
Yeah,
hits the
that's sort of
circuit
what I mean.
breaker or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And fortunately, we have someone who's willing to do that.
Because it just seems, it seems things can go wrong. Things happen, but things could go wrong.
Well, things do go wrong.
Yeah,
Sometimes
with
like
the
I say, circuit
kitchen.
breaker pops or, whatever.
Mhm.
So right now, Chris is on call
And he lives in town, so it's not like he's traveling.
and he understands, he agrees that if the lodge is rented, that Saturday afternoon, he stays home and he waits. Or he goes to the,
And
doesn't
that
stay
is
home, but he
included
stays
in,
around.
in figuring out all the fees and stuff like that, the overhead to do it.
Yes.
That's all, because I'm with Sharon, I understand, open, close and all this.
Right. It's not
Don't
a
wanna make
perfect-
it
it's not a
complicated.
perfect system, but we're not, we're not Arias or AquaTurf or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, so.
More than anything, it's just, think about liability, that's all.
I recommend starting with what is here. I mean, 100 for the center station, 150 basically for center station for residents. The airport property, we were basically giving it away all these years. I mean, it was $100. And like that shoot 'em up cowboy thing they do, they come on Friday night,
Used to be camping there
they'd
too.
camp out,
Right, yeah, not supposed to. be.
they would stay out all day, we would drag the rings, public works, so we'd have guys dragging the rings. And we're getting $100. That's crazy.
Can I make
So
a
when
suggestion
we
that,
did horse shows there,
Mhm.
we dragged the rings, not Public Works.
Right.
We watered, well, actually, we made a donation to the fire department, they would water.
To water
the
it, yeah.
rings during the day. We brought in our own dumpsters, we brought in our own porta
Porta potties,
potties.
yep.
Um,
Well, that all went by the wayside over the years, because now we
Right.
supply the porta potties, we drag the rings.
And they dragged the porta potties.
And they drag the
across
porta potties
Yeah.
across, they hide them in the back. So this is why they're trying to adjust the cost. I mean, $200 a day, so if they have a weekend event, what's it gonna cost you $400?
Mhm.
We called North Haven, right,
I think there's no-
to ask them, and they were like,
Oh, because they're fairgrounds.
a lot
yeah.
more money than.
that's a big fairground now.
Well, no, but not to rent the whole fairground, just like we asked them about putting on the cowboy shoot or whatever they call it. So we're somewhat getting in line with that. We're still a little cheaper, but it is for town residents.
Can I make a suggestion? There's a lot of stuff here. That you kind of table it for, get more information before you go making decisions about all this.
Well,
You don't want to make it too complicated, but on the other hand, it sounds like there's,
I mean, the only thing they're looking to change right now, looking to change the gym, but the gym will be out of commission for a while. The airport is out of commission for a while because it's winter time. If we could maybe talk about center station and then maybe put the rest on table the rest of it.
because what ideally you would see here is how much use is it getting? How was it rented? For what time?
Well, right now, center station is not.
I know,
because
I'm
it's
not
new.
talking.
That's what I'm saying. That's
talking
why
about
we
the
should at
lodge.
least tonight
Yeah.
discuss center station so we can actually get that up and running.
Yeah,
Um,
so, yeah, so
The
bring
airport-
in all the information on the lodge and the airport, who's using it when, how much does it cost?
Right.
All that stuff together, instead of just saying, oh, we're gonna charge this. I don't know, 500 people are using the airport, or 25, I know people camp in there. We allow them to camp there, or is that gonna happen, allowed or not allowed?
Well, if you look down at
It says no. I think
no
the
change,
signs
there'll
that
be
say
no, there are signs, no camping at the airport
But
right now.
didn't we specifically allow a group to camp there? We did.
Yes, it was the horse.
The-
it was the
We
horse
did.
people, yeah.
The mounted
So-
shoe.
And it's changing. If you look at here, it says no camping. at
I
the
saw that, that's what I'm saying, it's just,
And the
these are
signs
all,
are there.
there's a
but-
lot
And
of
if the
stuff.
rings need to be dragged, we're gonna charge $200.
Per ring,
The ring, yes.
per ring, there are two.
It just says one. It says ring need to be dragged. I mean, 2 public works hours for 4 hours. We can drag 2 rings in 4 hours. It's not a big deal. But if they need to be dragged, I mean, we're paying our guys. Maybe it only takes them 2 hours, but still.
So that's all, I'm just saying, numbers wise, how often has it been used this last couple of years? Who's using it? How much does it cost? Input from your guys,
Well, most of the stuff we do at the airport is free.
Mm-hmm,
The Lions Club,
mm-hmm.
the football players, the lacrosse players,
BAA,
BAA.
the Harvest
Mhm.
Festival,
Yeah, that's all. There's no cost to any of that because it's town
their community
stuff.
groups. Yeah.
It's basically just the horse shows. And then we had the very successful car show, by the way. And it was a town resident put it up, so it's $100.
Wouldn't it be cool to have hot air balloons?
It's so windy up there.
They do it
Would
other
be fun.
places, wouldn't that be cool?
I don't know, there's enough space with the balloons.
Well, I would have,
So I can comment on that if you want. I just
What, the
have comments
balloons?
at the Plainville Balloon Festival with the.
Yeah, that's
Plainville Fire
awesome.
Director here. I was talking to one of the balloon pilots. And you need a special pilot's license.
Right.
Even, beyond regular aviation, you have to have a special license to get your balloon permit. And I asked them, I said, do you need a permit, a local permit from anywhere to go launch a balloon? They said, no, we can go anywhere, you go to the parking lot.
Oh,
Really?
So we can go anywhere they want. That's state FAA, et cetera.
But when they do that one, like, is it some kind of an event of like a specific?
oh, that's a big show.
That's a-
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
big
yeah.
Actually,
show.
you actually see them in
Okay.
Colorado and Arizona. out there,
Okay,
yeah.
that is,
It's really fun, pretty.
No, they do an amazing job. We probably wouldn't be able to fit as much there as, on ours as they do, but
Yeah.
you'd be surprised with the proximity to each other, like they're putting balloons up. And they're hitting each other as they're going up, and they're just walking the baskets out, and then off they go,
wow,
and they do it very quickly.
that's
So
interesting.
it's pretty neat to watch, especially like when the sun's coming up. 6
That
in the
would be
morning.
neat.
That's gotta
It's a
be
great
very
event.
pretty.
That was one of the things on the next, if we ever have another economic development commission,
Yeah.
was to suggest an event like
An
that.
event like that. That's
Absolutely.
Because
cool.
it is beautiful.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Right.
Got the airport, right?
Yeah.
Wow, easy.
All right, so do we?
Well,
do we wanna-
personally, I have no problem with everything as written, but if whatever you guys want to do.
Well, I mean, I
I
feel like,
mean, we can potentially approve what we have here right now and try to see if we can do an assessment of how many events we've had, the cost.
yeah, I think
you
you
know,
really do need to.
I
to
just,
look at the
I,
big-
because this is adjusting some of the rental fees, which is gonna help us because they're too low.
Extremely low.
They're too low, and we're not making money here at all.
Right, the lodge and the
So-
pavilion are not being adjusted because we just did that, 6 months ago, 5, whatever it was, not too long ago.
Right,
Center Station is brand new.
yeah,
The gym, we're raising it a little bit, not a lot, but enough to,
cover some expenses.
well, right now it's non-resident, resident, the same fee, so we're just throwing $100, an extra $100 for non-resident. The big change is the non-refundable $50 reservation fee.
Right.
Because too many times people reserve it, they give their $50, and then Friday afternoon, they say, well, grandma fell down, so we're not having the party, it was my $50 back. And we could have reserved the gym or
And we
wherever
can't,
to
it's
somebody
too late
else.
to, it's too late to,
You know what I mean?
rent it out again.
So at least a non-refundable, not $50 and $50, but.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. The whole town fee structure, we never understood what that whole thing was. There was a town fee structure.
I
Yeah.
just
Well,
think
like at
it's
the airport-
Because how
important.
do you know how many people are actually showing up unless you're there with a counter?
Well, that's what it went away, right?
I mean,
Yes.
it's important to know these things,
Right.
and I don't know the history of it, but somebody does.
Yeah.
Park and Rec maybe too. But I mean, you could approve this for now, but I don't think you have enough information. I think you need more. You want people to use it, and you also want to take care of it and all that, so.
All right, well, I'll make a motion for now then to approve as written. And then. it
With
can be-
some
it can always-
assessment of.
it can always
But I
be
would,
brought up-
I would
it can always
say
be
come
brought up
back
again.
in 3 months, what is it, or spring?
Yeah.
At least,
Or whatever the,
Or-
new-
or
whatever
before
the new
then.
board of selectmen wants to do.
yeah. I
Notice how we threw that right at you.
There you go.
But at least right now,
That's a curveball.
at least right now, it'll allow us to get more money that we're getting now, even though, like I said, the
Yeah.
airport's out of the picture right now. The pavilion's out of the picture right
It
now.
might still be too little, though. That's what I'm
The
saying.
gym is out of the picture right now, because it's my gym for the next 4 months.
It'd be nice if the
um,
lodge had better sound.
Oh, we're working
Well,
on
actually-
that.
actually,
We're- That's a
Give
whole
us,
nother
give us
discussion. We're
45
working
minutes.
on
No,
that.
Tuesday, next
It's
Tuesday.
so dead in there.
Give
Oh,
me,
he's getting new lights, he's getting-
give us 10 minutes on
Okay.
Yeah.
Board of Finance meeting on Tuesday night and
All right.
Stay
See-
tuned.
See, that's what I
Stay
mean, there's
tuned.
more to this than,
Yeah,
Well,
Stay
it's-
tuned.
well, it kind of rolls
I've been
over.
doing,
okay.
my head's going 18 different directions at this. all the
Yeah,
time.
he's
Well,
got-
it'd be nice to have musical events in there again.
No,
I mean, they
we're
were there
talking about like
regularly.
a mounted projector.
Oh, then yeah,
so
you have
that
to stay tuned for
we can-
Tuesday night.
I don't
Oh,
want to,
okay.
I'll tease you a little bit, I don't want to give too much away.
Entertainment, you know, yes. And the
Yeah, better,
Okay.
better things are happening there, so,
Lighting,
yeah.
all that,
Yeah.
yes.
Jeez.
I know you're.
It sounds like my
considering TVs
checklist.
and all that, whatever.
Could I make a request though about the rentals on your actual application form? Could you please start collecting that kind of information? How many people, what kind of custodial services, how long? What the condition was when people were done?
Right, because
Well, there'll be a checkoff
we're
list.
trying to,
There was a
they're
checkoff list, yeah.
streamlining, because right now
Yes,
it's like an
there's
8-page
start
application and it
collecting
says
more.
nothing.
Hmm.
So we
That's what
are,
I'm
we are
talking about,
streamlining the
yeah.
application.
We've also kind of started to stress the point of making sure, and I remember the meeting of getting the fee paid at least no less than 10 days prior to the
Right,
event,
yeah.
because there were times where we were
Along with the
chasing after
insurance
the fact,
certificate.
with
Yeah.
the insurance certificate as well.
Yeah,
And then
that's
so that
important.
we're
insurance,
not
a
chasing-
checklist, like this stays there, no hanging, no holes, whatever. It's
They could
It was
put
very-
inventory tags on
yeah,
stuff.
for the
too.
last 20 years was a very loose structure. we'll put it that way.
I
Yeah.
get that.
So we're
We have a new
gradually
party
tightening
plan.
things
Getting
up.
there, getting there, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
baby steps as they say. But, okay, so you've made the motion to approve as written right now, but we will
Yes.
continue to assess. Liz, would you like to
Yes.
second that?
how about putting a date to return, so,
What
with
do you mean,
more
date to
information? We bring
Oh,
it back
oh,
to the board with more information about the venues.
Can
who's
we
been
do that to
using
the
it.
next Board of Selectmen meeting?
How
To The
much-
next Board of Selectmen? I don't know if we
The
can go
finance
there.
committee would be interested in that too, I'm sure.
Well,
I
with the
think you
holidays
need a
coming too.
period of time. I would suggest.
After
going
the
for a
first of the year?
year.
Oh, for a
No,
year?
For a whole.
Cycle?
They don't,
Cycle.
but they don't have a history up to date
No.
from now,
Mm,
a
No,
file of
because-
all who's used it
because-
and what
The
they
records
used
were
it
very
for.
loose.
Very loose, nothing was on computer really, it was all just sort of paper.
Ooh,
We have a new,
That's
we
why,
have
that's
a,
why I said it's been baby steps.
we have a new person doing the actual
Reservations.
reservations and filling out the forms and collecting the monies and collecting the insurance certificates and things like that. So once he or they or whatever you want to call it, once he gets used to it and gets things structured, then it can be revisited.
I mean,
But right now,
there
there's
wasn't an
no,
actual person. who-
Well, but
it was-
a
it was
lot
a
of it was
very-
just like
it
a
was
handshake and
a lot of
okay,
verbal.
yes, whatever, kind of.
send me
yeah.
a check when you can and type of thing.
Oh.
It's- And that went away. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
no more.
but
That's dangerous, actually. Yeah.
Oh, it's like that for.
I
yeah,
know,
forever.
I know.
And not
That's why
anymore.
that's why we're trying to rein it all in.
Okay,
We're trying to add professional management to it.
that's right, I know.
That's the
Yeah.
goal. So to Sharon's point,
Yeah.
it will take us a year to gather the information.
Right, and we
Yeah.
can actually, with the information, we can see, you rented the lodge for 6 hours, it cost us so much for custodial fees and so much for blah, 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 and,
But a year.
divide,
is-
electricity, whatever, electricity, propane,
Mhm.
whatever, however
Consider all
depth
that
you wanna
stuff.
get,
Sure.
but right now, there's no baseline, so now we have a baseline now to begin.
And actually, Sharon, that is a good suggestion, because right now the pavilion's shut down, so we really wouldn't
Well, so
know
is,
too, so.
and so is the gym,
that could-
so half our
right.
properties are
But
gone.
there's
for a while.
no files, there's no history of.
It was well, there's some, but
Even
most,
paper files, even, handwritten, there's
Well,
no,
that's-
nothing?
Not that would be usable for what we are looking for.
yes.
Wow. Okay.
We need to have statistics so that we can analyze it and figure out where we are.
Are
But
we
we
at least
can't-
breaking even, or
but we
are
can't
we,
do it
you
for
know?
this.
Okay,
budget
so,
cycle.
so I get it, so
Yeah.
that's why
It
you're
was
not
it was
answering my
always a
questions, 'cause
a
you don't
gentleman's
know.
agreement with a
You don't know.
handshake.
All right, all
Yeah.
right, yeah, it's gonna be better,
Yeah.
got it,
All
okay.
right, so we'll
Never
say
mind.
November of 2024 would be our,
Recommend, we recommend the new board
yeah,
discusses that in a moment.
so. We should have the full cycle by then of what the venues are doing, so. Well, any further discussion?
No.
All in favor of approving as is right now?
All right,
Aye, okay, passes unanimously, fantastic. Status of the easement at 667, Vin, I've been
Yes.
unmuted.
Hello,
Okay.
Ben.
So
Hello.
you received a letter, I believe you received a letter from an
Yeah.
attorney for the new owner or the person that's purchasing?
Right. So they're trying to sell the property, and the property is encumbered by this purported easement in favor of the town. Sorry,
Can I go one second? Just for clarification, we're talking about the soccer fields,
That's what I
Correct.
want, I looked at
Correct.
too.
right? The,
Correct.
All that- the whole-
CC, what's the name of the company?
CFC.
CFC.
They're selling? the
There's a
soccer
new
people?
ure, there's.
Yes, and
Yeah,
Couple
so,
of new
yeah,
owners.
just for clear, just.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think the purchase has been finalized yet. There.
it is not. This is an issue that's holding up the closing. And let me just get to that page and the packet. So yes, I received communication from, well, actually, I guess it started with Lena before it got to me. And the lawyers at Dave Pitney, right now I'm dealing with Michael Byrne. It started with a different lawyer. But I had asked Michael to reduce his position to writing so that I could discuss it with the board. So basically, there was an easement that was granted to the town back in 1975, which the town has not acted upon. By its terms, the easement expired in 5 years from the date that it was granted. Now, if you look at the terms of the easement, it's not a specific easement. It grants the town the right to put in basically an access road to property in the rear, if it chose to do so within 5 years, if you read the easement that way. And it's a floating easement. Basically, the owner of the fee interest gets to decide, well, I don't want to put it here any longer. I'd like to put it here. If you look at the way the easement is written, it's actually a interestingly drafted document. But if you look at the bottom of page 1 of the deed, it says all within 5 years from the date hereof. That was 1975.
Okay, so it's-
My math, I'm doing it in my head, is saying 25 and 25 minus 2 is 48. But I'll defer to anyone with an accounting background. So this easement has gone unused by the town, and I don't believe there's any specific intention of any department within the town to ever utilize this property. So on the one hand, when I was first looking at this, I said to Attorney Byrne, I think we might have to go to the town meeting because you want us to abandon this easement, correct? And he says, well, yes. And then we started talking. I said, well, wait a second. If it expired by its own terms, and we construe it in that way, which I believe the title company that I spoke to would construe it in that way, and my research seems to suggest it did expire by its terms, then there's no action for the town meeting to take. But I did not want to issue an opinion saying that I am of the opinion that the easement is void because it expired, without getting some authority to do so from this body. So at a minimum, if you voted in favor of authorizing me to issue a legal opinion as to the as to the status of this easement, that opinion would read that I concur with Attorney Byrne's findings and conclusion that the easement has expired by its terms, and there's no action for a town meeting to be taken. Because, and again, if it expired, then there's nothing to abandon, there's nothing to give away. The easement just really is no longer of any legal effect. But what we need to do as a matter of title cleaning up, these are title company issues. Actually, I'm dealing with a bunch of them in a number of different communities. They don't want to insure over this with the belief that there might be some right, even though everyone agrees there is no right.
So you basically need our official okay to say, please respond in
right,
writing.
As a lawyer, I don't have the independent authority to do anything without the authorization of my client. right? Even though I'm in a special status as a town attorney, depending upon the community that I'm in, my authorities vary. So I think it's appropriate for me to get instruction from the client, in this instance, the Board of Selectmen, saying that there's agreement that on its face, it appears this has expired. In fact, again, if you look at page, I believe it's 14, it's second to last page of your packet. There's the deed right there, granting the easement, and the last paragraph on the first page, in fact, the last line says all within 5 years from the date hereof.
That's a quick question then. So if we decided to act upon this easement and we want to build a road, we can't because it expired
Expired,
43 years ago.
Expired, yeah.
We got
It
almost
is-
50
years ago.
Right, it's my belief that 48 years ago, the town's right to
48 years
exercise
ago.
its rights. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
under this
hasn't been
easement
used.
lapsed.
Right, so,
Yeah,
so
so
Period.
it's,
We
it's a
didn't know
moot
about
point
that.
at this point. I mean,
And-
also didn't
and
know
there is
I
no
might
easement.
add for the minutes that zoning approved a site plan where that installed the soccer fields on this property. So zoning was presumed to know of the existence of this easement. And they approved the site plan that allowed the soccer fields to be constructed. So I don't
Alright,
know,
so-
I didn't look back
alright.
as to the minutes of that meeting, but I wanted
this
you to
has
be
a
aware.
question. This has a question.
Yes, there are different types of easements, and this was just to go through the property for what purpose?
To get to the
What-
To
property. in
access the
rear.
town's
What
property.
what
in
was
the
the other, what was the property in the rear that the town wanted access to?
Nothing, it's really.
Well, yeah,
No,
but
no,
there's-
what
there's
was
trails
Some
and
trails
stuff.
in the back.
It's not,
Yeah, there's nothing really there.
But
Yeah.
it's not used.
No.
No,
No,
there's
not
nothing.
at all.
No,
Not
it
at all.
hadn't been abandoned as to recreational use at that time. It was still an industrial development. The airport.
I remember the way it used to be.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't,
It
I mean,
expired,
since
it
it
expired
expired
50
in
years ago.
75, I mean,
Yeah.
we're just
good.
technicalities.
I think we're good. This is
Officially
just a
say,
Yeah.
point
We
of.
have no
this
use
is,
for it.
this is form over substance. I'm of the legal opinion and it has expired. And can issue that opinion, but again, because I do not believe I have the independent right to act, I'm asking for authority to issue that legal opinion.
I'll make the
Motion to
motion
give them
to
authority.
allow Vin to make that ruling, or the
It's
deal or whatever, that this is expired 40 something years
expired.
ago. And
We acknowledge
Have
that
at it.
expired.
Yes.
We don't.
This way, some title company will have these minutes to rely upon that there was an action that talked about this.
To give you approval to
works for me.
respond
All right.
to
Right.
Attorney Byrne's
Thank you. I
letter.
will let Attorney Byrne know.
We have the
Appreciate
motion, we
your-
have the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Okay, we are moving along. Payment on the Ben viewed this agreement, it's for the, right?
No,
Or-
Payment Solutions Agreement is for,
not finance, I'm
is
sorry.
for the tax office
what I meant, yeah.
and the town clerk it's a new
Oh, the credit card?
in-house credit card
System,
plan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a renewal or a new one, but in the past, and this happens in every community, so it's not specific to Bethany. Sometimes department heads might just sign off on a contract without getting legislative body approval. This body or the town meeting, depending upon the issue, is the only body authorized to bind the town. So a tax collector could not technically sign this without getting approval. So the tax collector asked me to review it. I did. It's in fine legal order and we can proceed with signing it, but we need proper authority to enter into it. And the authority comes from, in this instance, the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
You
thanks,
looked at
Ben.
it, Leslie?
Yes, she has,
Yeah. I can't judge.
Well, I
anyone.
It allows us
sent
to
it
take
the
credit
two of you
cards for
because it's-
payment.
Yes, too extensive to put in the packet. I had sent it to the two of you
Yeah.
separately.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
good.
got
Yes,
it.
we got it.
So may I have a motion to accept me being able to sign?
It's okay with you. That's just what I want to hear.
Yes, yes, it's fine with me.
Okay.
Yes, well, that's why we had been, because we looked at it.
See, I defer to Vin's judgment when it comes to contracts.
Yes.
All right, so
yes,
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other further? Discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. Those searches,
Oh, yeah.
Is he frozen?
He's unstable.
You froze up
No,
for a
you-
moment, so I missed your. Now
It's
I
Told
can
you,
hear you.
unstable.
I said, do we
I can
have
hear
any updates with regard to Russell Road and their title searches?
They're still working on it.
Still working on it.
It sounds like it's
Fantastic.
messy.
But
Okay,
did I miss Simpson?
no, you did not. That was my question.
How
that
many
was-
owners are
Okay,
there?
I do have an update that provides limited to no information. But I did receive, without my prodding, an email from Allison Clark from Deep yesterday saying that she acknowledges that some time has passed and she has not interfaced with her surveyor, but she will get on him and turn up the heat.
For the Simpson, this is the Simpson property.
Okay.
This is the
Yeah,
Simpson property.
we jumped
Oh, you
over.
skipped
Okay,
a
That
couple
means
we-
absolutely nothing to me, quite frankly. I don't know what that
She's
means to you,
promising
but
that she's gonna do it ASAP and has
just,
yet to be
it's on her
ASAP.
radar.
But we did jump number 13, which was the proposed solar farm, which right now, the owners of the property are retaining their own legal counsel to review the offers that have been proposed to them.
The owners of the property over
The
on
the owners
63.
of the property over on Route
So
69.
it's pretty much almost done.
Very happy with that proposed site
I
that
like
we've,
it.
given to
There's,
them.
there,
So-
If it
the
has to
devil's
be
always
here-
in the detail, but there's been an acknowledgement by the developer that this site is sufficient for it to relocate its project.
What about I know there's not people directly, but any scuttlebutt from any neighbors? You have to notify?
It's commercial.
So birds and the bees are gonna be affected by most.
Sure.
There's, the adjacent parcels are light industrial uses or undeveloped residential land.
It's a house or two though. somewhere.
But.
That's on the other side of this, directly right here, you got Henry's garage on one side. Let me just,
I'm not quite sure what.
And the old
that-
Canine Academy or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm
now.
not sure what.
there was, the closest house that I saw on GIS was on the, like, almost, I'm gonna call it around the corner,
On Route 42.
but not directly impacted.
Yes, sure.
So today I got a letter from Bruce Loomis. It's a copy of a letter that he sent to all of the land use agencies, and what he did was raise the question, I don't know how it could still have been R130. It probably is watershed, I think you're probably right about that. But
Darren,
the
You're,
question as to what
You're
the
correct.
actual zone is.
Darren, if I may, you're correct in that the assessor's card still says it's R130, but the zoning map says it's a business industrial. So I believe when there's a conflict between the map and the deed, you defer to the map.
Yeah, because that question had been raised and we had addressed that, so.
Yeah, I don't know why he wanted it to go to finance. He
I-
didn't
He
ask.
sent
me.
it to
sent it to-
everyone. He sent it to everyone.
We all got it.
Yeah, he sent it to everyone. And I mean everyone.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just
So,
wanted
okay,
you to know that we got it too.
He's
Yep.
concerned.
so that had been addressed.
So that's
Okay,
good, that's
Simpson we
great
already
news,
addressed.
that's great news.
Yep, we are up to grants. ARPA pretty much is all expended, no?
ARPA, there will be an update at the Board of Finance meeting,
Okay.
so you have to stay tuned.
Oh, come on, give them a.
Yeah, a little teaser.
There must
A
be
little
something
teaser.
going on that.
Don underspent by about $20,000
Yeah,
on the fuel pumps, on the new fuel system.
I should be like everybody else and just spend as I can, but sometimes you have to.
So he is proposing a reallocation of about $15,000 of that to some improvement and upgrades inside the lodge, which would include,
See, there you go, there was your.
Including what happened?
which would include some painting, some new lights,
Yeah.
a projector, a better sound system speakers,
I think
and
it's,
acoustic
A little
panels.
Yeah,
acoustical
exactly.
panels,
Acoustical
it's,
panels. Yeah,
the sound stinks in there.
well,
yes,
it's,
yes, it does.
I've heard this.
we're not
from
gonna
many
make it into
people,
a theater, but
musicians,
it'll be a
it
little
sounds-
better.
What's
So-
that?
We're not gonna make it into a palace theater, but it will be a
Why
little, a
not?
little better. 15,000 only goes so far. Give me 150,000, I'll give you a beautiful building. 15,000,
It'll still be too small.
Right,
Yeah. But
well, that'll be the stage at the gym, will be our Palace Theater.
This one?
there you go.
Yeah,
So that's where ARPA stands.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steep 23, we are waiting for final reimbursement. 24, we do not have a contract yet, and we have already moved that for the Board of Finance has moved it back to you to set a town meeting on. Cabrera, the annex is finished. The windows are complete on this floor of Town Hall. Downstairs, the windows are ordered and will be installed most likely in spring when it is warmer. The gym is ready to go out to bid. So we expect to start work on that the middle of December.
And what's gonna go in there?
That's, yeah, Don knows.
First is the addition, storage addition. We're gonna build a 38 by 14, 12-foot high storage addition behind the building.
Right off the bat.
We're between the two back doors. Right now, that wood ramp that comes down, that's all gonna go away. It's gonna be an addition out to the road. We're gonna put 2 heat pumps / propane backup HVAC systems on there to heat and air condition the gym, get rid of that antiquated
Yeah,
steam heat, okay? New floor,
New padding.
new padding for the walls, get rid of the radiators, clean it up a little bit, paint everything nice. That's phase 2. Phase 3, we do the stage, which is new curtains, new stage lights. We do the stage area for comedy shows or for whatever. The kids, the band, we're not gonna make it, again, a theater. We're gonna put some lighting just so to make it look a little better.
is there more for the sound system?
We are putting a
It's my thanks now.
cameras on the wall so we can live stream anything going on in the gym. We are putting new speakers. We're putting an acoustical ceiling package together as we speak. I'm just working on that before the meeting
Mhm.
to try to clean the acoustics up a little bit. We are going to install or have 3 or 4 wireless microphones, a couple hardwired
Yeah.
microphones. We're going to have 4 or 5 or 6, not sure yet, headphones for the hearing impaired. So they can actually get whatever broadcast right to their headphones instead of having to
Mhm.
listen to the reverberation of everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll be 22nd, 21st century, what the hell, Gordon? It'll be updated instead of rolling around with a wireless microphone and
Well,
trying to get it to work. all
yeah,
the
the
time.
main thing is to get,
Oh, a new projector screen
yeah. for
with
the,
a rear projector from above. This way, we're not trying on the table, trying to get it to work. It's gonna be all integrated with an 8-inch keyboard, an 8-inch touchscreen keyboard on the wall to make everything work.
And how about Zoom, people being.
Oh, no, it's gonna be, there's gonna be a camera up on the wall, which will live stream any event we want.
Good. But I'll
Complete-
take.
No,
care of
it's not gonna
microphones,
be,
but,
it's
yeah,
not gonna be a, like Woodbridge tried once, it's not gonna be an interactive town meeting type of thing, it just
I know
doesn't
that,
work,
that's.
it doesn't work.
that's,
But we're gonna have, instead of an owl on the table, we're gonna have 100% live streamed with a camera that you can move, that you can zoom in on the
And this is
speaker.
all that stuff is taking place phased in, so starting.
Starting December 8th or 9th.
Hmm,
Addition first, once we get the heat going, I can rip the old heat out, once we get the old heat out, we can do the walls, we can do the floor, we can do the system and things
And
like
this is a
that.
heat pump system, is that what it is?
State of the art,
Is it an air one or the one that goes in the?
no, not geothermal, it's gonna be an air-to-air heat
Is
pump.
it, okay,
2 big 7.5-ton American Standard heat pump units with a propane backup versus an electric backup. Very state of the art, very high efficient. Give me money, I'll do anything you want. And this is one of the projects that we're gonna do. It's way beyond the time. I mean, we're dealing with a 1940s gym,
I know.
and we're trying to live stream, we're trying to do everything else with a handheld camera and a handheld microphone. It just doesn't work. So, a little bit of patience. hopefully by next town meeting in May, the next normal town meeting in May, it'll be up and running. It better be up and running, because we have to have a town meeting in May. So,
That's right. So we have a goal. We have
we have a goal.
something to focus for. But, and then Trip, we are
Oh,
still
no,
waiting.
we skipped over the Deloro
Oh,
grant.
I'm sorry.
The
My
$1
apologies.
million grant from Rosa Deloro's office is a HUD grant. It is 100% reimbursement.
They just changed that not too long ago.
That
right?
was, yes, that was recently changed. The funds are guaranteed to the town. We have, it's in various stages of approval, as in there's environmental studies and approvals. We have phase 1 done, which allows us to purchase HVAC equipment, which is the first thing we want to do. Phase 2 will be approval to install said HVAC. But it's that one, we're almost ready to go out. We're close to being able to go out to bid on that. We're trying to put that together. And it was a conversation between Don and I. We are putting the bid package out on that as a comprehensive bid package with individual sections.
For the, right, the HVAC already went out to bid.
Correct, that we did. Oh, what?
The equipment's here, well, the equipment's in the building somewhere, but it's here. And again, it's gonna be all state of the art heat pumps throughout the entire town hall.
Good.
To try to get away from this oil steam heat.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of rebates, which is why we've been banging our head against the wall for the last 4 months to get the money, because we had to meet dates. The equipment cost itself is $43,000. We're getting a $41,000 rebate from the utilities. If
Assume,
we have it installed by January 1st.
If you have, ooh.
if we have it installed by January.
We had to
So
purchase
this-
it by October 1st, and we had to install it by January 1st.
Wow.
Mhm.
So this is why
Do you have a contingency in the contract?
there is no contingency.
I mean,
Eversource-
just saying that we're not gonna enter into this agreement unless you agree that you guys are gonna be here and you're gonna be. putting
Oh,
in-
no, yeah, that's it, yes. But the problem
There
is,
is
we
a
don't
date.
have,
You
we
have to
don't
have
have the funds
So that we can get that.
yet to do it. We don't have a site, we were told in March, the money's on the way, and now it's November.
No, it's reimbursement.
And if we don't get it done by January 1st, we lose $41,000. So I'm ready to pull the trigger. The equipment's sitting down center station. The installer's ready to pull the trigger, but we have to give him a month or so to install it. Because Eversource with that kind of money, they're gonna come and inspect.
Who's the
And you need
contact?
to go to the town meeting because the project, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and.
The capital project has yet to be approved by the town.
So we're gonna be pulling together a special town meeting as quickly as we can.
I was gonna say, who's the contact on this? I know it's through Rosa, but and HUD, do you have a person?
Oh,
Human
there's
being,
3,
an
4,
office?
5
Oh,
buildings full of
which-
people.
which-
that
which-
we-
which-
I
yeah.
think we are on our 4th person in charge since we were awarded the money.
Keep records.
we
Jen
have-
has very thorough
Copies,
records
You know,
on
the
everything.
main holdup, a lot of the main
Get our
holdup was
chart, find out who's.
a historical preservation. They wanted to make sure this wasn't a historical building.
I know, and then you have to leave one side.
No,
of the
no, so
building
like an
up.
hour later, I faxed, we sent them over Connecticut State Historical, whatever, stating, no, it's not a historical building. But they had to look, they had to see for themselves 2 months ago. So, we're working on it. It's
We are
head
working on
banging,
it.
we're working on it.
Okay.
You keep sending them the stuff they want and somehow it's
Well, because then Martha had it, and then Martha gave it to
Yes.
Vicky, and Vicky gave it to somebody
somebody
else,
else,
and
and
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
Okay.
you know.
it's very frustrating, very
Please
frustrating.
vote to send it to town meeting.
Yes, so anyway, yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, yes, so I mean, that's all I have. I mean, I just that we do need, from a Board of Finance standpoint, we need a town meeting to accept this steep grant for fiscal year 24 and to accept the HUD grant.
So we need a motion to move to a town meeting regarding,
Well, the steep grant oh no, you have it, that's right, you haven't done it, we did. but
Right.
yeah,
Just
so
So I will make the motion to forward the steep and the HUD grant to a town meeting as soon as possible.
Good.
Second.
Any other further discussion?
Yes, when's the town meeting?
Yes.
There's another piece of this having to do with the reimbursement part of it, because we're going to need to set up a fund.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to set up a pool of cash essentially that will be working capital. We don't have to appropriate the funds because it's all gonna be reimbursed, but we have to have essentially a renewable, you know,
Line, something.
yeah, a renewable line that we're funding until, and we get some money back and we put it back in there,
Oh,
and then he
yeah.
does something
Right.
else.
Yeah.
And
To
it'll
show
just be
this,
rolling
right.
until it's finished, and eventually we'll get the whole $1 million back.
Right, because this HUD grant is not a matching funds.
This
They
was-
give us $1 million. We
Yes.
don't have to throw any money in there whatsoever.
That's a good thing.
Correct,
We just have to front the money.
right,
Right,
but,
We
But
don't
it'll
know
be
how
in-
fast they'll pay us back,
correct.
so.
right.
So we were throwing around today, we're gonna ask the town meeting to
That's it,
to
yeah.
approve what, 150 to 200.
Right.
I would say 200, because if
We'll just say 200.
whatever, well, we can say 150, 200, because the thing is, if they refund us quarterly, that's that would be 5 quarters of waiting for our money, so it would spread my project out over a year, almost a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Which is okay, because it's a lot of different phases, like, we're gonna do all the bathrooms, I can do the bathrooms in a quarter, get our money back for the bathrooms. We can do the rest of the offices in another quarter, we can do the exterior in another quarter. We have till 30 or 31,
31. I think she said.
2031 to spend the
2031,
money.
money.
she said, yeah.
Yes,
but we can't, we don't-
Again, when do they fund the money? When does it get to you?
It's, there's
It's
there's no fronted
reimbursable.
money.
There's no front-end
fronting it.
Once,
It's
okay, so
reimbursable.
when the town approves, as soon as we have our town meeting, then we do the HVAC systems.
Mhm,
That's like $98,000.
mhm.
As soon as we do the HVAC systems, which have to be done by January 1st,
Right,
we will send the bill to the town, to the feds, to the HUD. And HUD will reimburse us the $100,000. We'll put it back in that fund. It has to be in a special fund. It can't be the general fund.
no, I get that.
Okay, once we get the $100,000
cover
back
that.
in the fund, I'll go out to bid for the bathrooms.
Mhm.
Once a bathroom or whatever, I'm just saying.
Okay,
bathrooms.
that's
Yeah,
enough
you have another
information. Thank you.
100,000. If we go for 200,000, then you'll have another 100.
To
so
do something, right?
To do your next phase.
To keep the project
Yeah, keep it.
rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Need a town meeting.
Well, this is what I was hit with this morning when I walked in the door. So I looked at the calendar and I said, how
Thank you very
ASAP
much.
can we do?
Sorry.
Yeah.
This was a hall- this was a
Congratulations,
hallway.
you got reelected.
This was a-
Now, here we go.
Good morning hallway meeting.
Yeah. Literally, we
Yeah.
were standing in the hallway, they're like, okay, this is what we need to do, and I'm like, oh my God, okay. So we walked into the office, looked at the calendar and went, okay, I have to work backwards, because how many days do we need to post? How many days does it get mailed? So right now, we're looking at Tuesday, what'd I say, 21st?
November 21st.
November 21st, because it has to get to the printer to be mailed, it has to get to the
Yeah, yeah.
newspaper to be posted. So, yeah, and
Holidays.
yeah, holidays and whatever,
Yeah.
this is the
And-
Tuesday
and-
before Thanksgiving,
And
so.
hopefully by November 21st, HUD gives us the approval to spend money.
Correct.
This way, November 22nd, I can call Blizzard Mechanical, who got awarded the contract. Please work all weekend. We gotta get this done.
This way you just.
Yeah, so I mean, people
You
are gonna
don't
get
get
hit
the
with all of a
contract
sudden,
unless-
we're having a special town meeting, but literally this morning when I walked in the door, it was like, okay, we have this, and I'm like, okay, here we go.
Okay, and
Guess they didn't want to bother me yesterday during the elections.
You have to hurry up and then we will take forever. And
Right,
you
yep.
have to
Right.
You know, if
Yeah.
it wasn't for the $41,000 rebate, we would.
You'd have
spring.
time, you'd have time, yeah.
But 40 grand's a lot of money to say, never mind. we don't
Yeah,
want it.
40 grand
be
is
used for
too much
something
money
else.
to leave on the
Could be used
table.
For something else, yeah.
no, sure.
So,
Hill Road is, where?
Oh, you're stepping forward again.
Oh,
well,
okay.
we need to vote on, we need to vote on this.
On the
motion
town
meeting.
to bring
Okay,
it to-
Okay, so I
to
would,
approve the town
I'll
meeting
vote town meeting on November
November
21st
21st.
at 7 PM
Here in the gym,
here in the
correct.
gymnasium to approve whatever.
I'll do
The steep,
Steep
Yeah.
and HUD
the HUD
HUD and the.
And
and the
The
funding.
account, the funding.
Yes.
I'll
Do
give you
you want to notice 200,000 on that? Because we were talking about.
150 to
discuss-
200. We can discuss.
Well,
I
we
mean,
can ask for 200 and the meeting can always amend the recommendation.
Well, let me know because I sent it to Jen.
150 to 200. And we
I
can,
sent 150 to 200 in the.
Okay.
do we want to
in
put
the
a dollar
wording you
amount
gave me,
on the call or
so You
just
can make the
discuss it?
recommendation
Well,
at the meeting. Yeah.
It should be on the call.
It is on the call.
Yeah, I worded it as a discussion of 150 to 200. It doesn't say, I mean, that's the opening discussion.
And
It's
possible
the
action.
way that it's worded
And
right
possible
now,
action.
it's an open
I mean,
discussion
Liz might
and
say,
possible
"Give me
action.
500,000. right
Yeah,
off the
I
top."
might.
You never know.
Okay, everybody's overtired. We're good. No, but it's worded discussion and possible action on.
Establishing a working
establishing
capital.
Working capital, 150 to 200, whatever.
Mhm.
Sharon, would that money could just come out of the general fund, that seed money?
Yes.
Yes, it would.
Yes,
Yes.
and it doesn't, the thing is that it doesn't require an appropriation, which is what normally we would do. But that would be taxed, that would go into people's taxes. But we just have to make sure that there's cash sitting there.
Right.
You know, and that we keep track of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. The steep
auditable.
grant would have an appropriation from the general fund, though, for the town match portion of $103,000.
Yes. But again, 103,000, we're gonna save a lot of money.
Yes,
Because that includes the addition of public works and
the
paving,
paving, which is what was like 250
paving,
or something.
recycling, which is falling apart.
Sure.
It's
We get a
250.
price of
was
$250,000 just for their paving. The addition will
And
be
the
free,
addition, yeah, so,
so kind of a no-brainer, you know?
yeah, and to get 2 steep grants in a row.
We have an awesome.
is-
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
your,
I-
because
I
your
still don't
expression,
believe
that-
that.
your
You know what?
expression that night was priceless.
It's all about the grant writing. We have
I
awesome
still-
grant writer.
Yep.
Team, grant writing team.
Speaking of grant writing, please look into getting a, small city CBDG grant for the town. We used to have one years ago. It was taken back for non-use. What it does is it allows homeowners to get a furnace upgrade, an energy upgrade, and they don't have to pay anything until they sell the house. It goes
That
in
was the small
liens.
cities.
Yep,
That
the
was
small
small
cities.
cities,
So
yeah.
and it does require someone to administer the grant. So
Mhm,
if you come and you want one,
mhm.
okay.
Finding someone that is willing to administer those grants is where the problem is.
But CBG does fund it unlike state steep grants and unlike the other, that does have a portion which you can pay somebody. And it's
Correct.
like-
So how would
You
that
can
work? So in
pay-
other
you
words,
can pay
I get a-
professional
I get a
management for it.
furnace, I don't have to pay for my furnace for 25 years till I sell my
Sell the
house.
house.
Correct.
It goes with
Someone in the
lien.
town
It's a
hall
grant.
has to monitor that for 25 years?
No, the town files a lien on your property, files
Yeah.
a regular mortgage lien on your property for
So when
whatever.
I sell the house, you get my
Right.
$10,000.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good deal.
But
It's a
there
good deal
are,
If we weren't printing money from China, it would be a great deal.
but there are income requirements in order to be eligible for
Right.
those.
Okay,
You,
so,
fine.
usually, and they're veterans ones and they're older people and this
Okay.
and that too.
Yeah.
But
oh, it's worth a
most,
look.
every town
It's worth
has
a
one.
look.
Exactly. No,
How long ago did we
Well,
have
we
that?
had
I don't
one, but it-
remember,
but
I
it
don't
got-
remember that.
I
The
took
last
it back.
person paid it
A
off,
long time ago.
No,
Like,
Long
there's
time
still,
ago.
there's still,
the one,
I think there's still some
but we can't find the
outstanding.
paperwork.
But I do know is that there is still
Mm.
money in the bank account for it, for them.
oh, so
There's
this
about
wasn't like 30 years ago. this was
There's
only
about,
5,
well,
10
no,
years
when,
ago.
when the
Hasn't been
loan is
used
paid back, it goes back into that bank account and that money can be recirculated.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's not town funds.
No.
We're not
that?
putting any money up. It's
State.
state or federal.
Yeah, it's actually federal money that goes to, and the way it was set up is, yes, small cities, they call it. So
Okay.
it's
It's
certain
worth looking into.
towns, we're small towns. But just consider doing
We
it,
have-
you know, I
well, we
know
have
that
the-
it's-
we have the,
there's a lot of overhead to it, but,
Maybe
you
find out
know,
what the
First,
updated
I have to
criteria
find,
is.
first I have to find a company that's willing to professionally manage it before I would apply for one.
everybody knows dead, so.
Well, that was encouraging.
And the one I know retired, so it doesn't help
I
me
was not
any.
expecting that. That was, yeah. All right.
Mr. Wagner.
Something to look into. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow,
That's one of
okay.
them.
Now that we've established that, did we vote? No, we did not vote. Thank God Lauren's paying attention. Okay. All in favor of, the town meeting?
On
On
the
the
21st,
21st,
at 7
Going
o'clock.
to town meeting.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimous.
Thank you.
Couldn't tell. I haven't done much. Oh my God. We are down to trip, which we are still waiting to hear, considering they told us we were gonna know by June and have
Oh,
the money
no,
by
oh, no.
August
We're
or
gonna have the money
whatever.
in the bank by June,
It
June.
was too
Okay.
easy.
It was-
Right?
You're right.
They
It
were so
was too-
excited. The two guys from the state were so excited. You guys are eligible for this, and they
Too
were
easy.
like, they had us all pumped up, and then they just,
Well, the good
pulled the
thing is
rug
they
right
have not
out.
awarded anything yet. So it's not like we didn't get it. It's just.
right, hasn't been awarded yet.
They
But
determined that.
actually, when will
Whatever.
I see them again? Next week?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
no, but
pro-
it wasn't awarded to anybody yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is, by the time we get that money, it's not going to be
The
enough to
price
do
is
the
gonna go up.
project.
Yeah,
Because those, they had to be shovel-ready project numbers.
We were ready to go the next day.
And that was submitted April of 23. So by the time the approval comes and the money, we will not have the money before July of 24. So those, it's
The
going to
cost
cost
of
more than
whatever,
that.
yeah.
Well, I wonder if they'll allow us to adjust.
and Frontier's
I
putting
hope they
the
do.
fiber optics on the poles. No, no, they're running the fiber optics on Round Hill.
Why aren't they putting them underground?
I'm not,
Yeah,
yeah.
Check
Okay.
the front
There's a lot of
yard.
rocks
Well,
around.
but anyway, we are still on hold with the trip grant.
Yes.
Being
We should
that
get
this
it.
is a-
We should get it, but you never know.
Yeah, being that this is a special meeting, no other items may be brought up for discussion. So
I told you I had a list.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. We
See?
can give it to Gina
Turn it over to
and then
Gina.
Gina can present it next month. But so who wants to make for your final meeting? Who,
No, go
Oh, they're
ahead,
I'll
Don.
make the motion to adjourn.
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you guys for your
Thank you very
service.
much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
Good
very
night, Vin. 8:30 tomorrow, Vin. I'm waving tomorrow. Okay.
What's tomorrow?
That's really.
Thursday?